To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. Okay, so I'm back to Tiny House again today, and I'm just gonna cover a few topics. I'm gonna do a little bit of honey-do list. I gotta get some things done. Apparently, Carolyn has decided that putting her pots and pans on the floor is not a permanent solution. I keep arguing with her that, you know, that's fine, but no, she doesn't like it. So we're gonna do a little project today, get them up off the floor and onto the walls, and hopefully we can make it look nice. So before I get into much of the video, I wanted to say I was gonna do some stuff outside today, but it's just way too windy. The mic noise, the wind noise on the mic would have been just too much. Normally things don't get this windy here in the state of Missouri, but it's pretty breezy, so we're having some problems with the wind. So last night, I realized, oh my gosh, I forgot to start the generator. It was cloudy all day. It had rained all day. At 7 o'clock, I decided I better go down and start the generator. Well, I knew that wasn't going to be enough time before I went to bed. So last night, I went down there at 9:30. Sure enough, it was only at 13.6 volts. It should be around 14.4 volts when it's charged. The battery charger was still pushing 16 amps. You know, in order to have that charged, it should have been around 0 to 2 amps. And I thought, man, I'm gonna have to run the generator all night. So I did. I had to run the generator all night. I got up at 3:30, went down there, and it was all charged up. My mistake, but then today it's windy. And so many people say, hey, why don't you get a windmill, some sort of wind generator, because we only have solar panels. And my argument is because we don't have any wind. I've had a windmill before, and it was more trouble than it was worth. Typically, the windmill would only run for a couple seconds, and it would stop and run for a couple seconds, and it wouldn't really produce enough volts. It would produce amps, but not enough volts to actually kick the charge controller on. It really has to be more stable, I guess, for it to actually be effective. So around here, you know, you'll get a breeze, it'll start up, you'll get some amps, but you won't get any volts. Well, today it would do pretty good, but this is the rare exception. Last year, we were down in Lubbock, Texas, and it was windy all the time. I mean, it was miserably windy. So if you live in Lubbock, Texas, or an area like that, then yeah, a wind generator would be fantastic. That's exactly what you want. It'd be a hybrid system, as they call it. You'd have your solar panels and your wind generator. But here, it just wouldn't work. We have so many trees. I don't know if you can see it through the window today. Yeah, there's just so many trees that blocks all the wind. Even when there is a wind, you can get a 60-mile-an-hour storm and you won't feel anything down here. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is my water tank. As you know, I have an IBC water tank just outside the house here. Probably can see it once the light adjusts. It's right there. You can see that. So I have a box, an insulated box around the water tank. But it's not sealed up very well. You know, wind can get into it. Well, today the wind is into it. This morning when I woke up, it was 31 degrees. I think it was 31 degrees outside. And the tank temperature was 35 degrees. Well, this is a real problem. That's the whole point of having it inside the box, was so the water wouldn't freeze. I don't want my water pump to freeze, so I got to be careful on what I'm doing. Now, the thing is the temperature has been down to 19 degrees. Before I got the thermometer right here, it survived. I mean, we have water the next morning. What this monitors is, I have a remote control thing and a temperature gauge outside. So outside it's 35 degrees in the tank. But I got two things going against me today. The wind. The wind is just pushing that cold air right through there. And I'm sure you will know, if you live in a drafty house, they always talk about drafty houses. If you live in a drafty house, it's hard to heat. That's because all that wind is just pushing all the heat right outside. Same thing's happening here. So what I got is, I have a, back here in my closet, you probably won't be able to see it. I have made a little system. I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, there's a fan there. And it's pushing the heated house temperature into the box. And it has worked fantastically until today. The other issue I have is the tank's only half full. Less water means it's easier for that water temperature to change. More water, it's harder. So all day long, my temperature has been around 35 degrees. So that tells you it's pretty hard to change the temperature, but it has changed since yesterday, because yesterday was at 39 degrees. So I need to start addressing this. So we're going to do a couple things. One, I'm going to fill the tank tonight. It's supposed to get to 28 degrees tonight, and then tomorrow night it's supposed to get 23 degrees. By filling the tank, I'm going to be taking water out of the well, which is around 62 degrees. And so I'm going to take that hot water. I know 62 degrees isn't hot, but as far as freezing is concerned, I'm going to take the hot water out of the well, I'm going to put it in a tank, and it's going to take forever for that temperature to change. So it'll get me through the next couple of days. The other thing I'm going to do, this is Sunday, so I can't actually go do it today, is I'm going to buy a dryer vent, you know, those dryer vent hoses that go outside, real flexible, and I'm going to run it up to the ceiling where all the hot air is in this house. And so the fan down here will suck that hot air from the ceiling down and into the attic box. But in the end, I think we're learning all this in a really good situation. This year has been a really mild winter, and I'd rather run into these problems this year than in a really hard, cold winter where 0 degrees for days and it's windy. I don't know if we'll actually be able to survive those kind of days, but I'd like to start practicing so we can get there. Now, the other option I got is I got a little space heater. I think it's 250 watts. It's not very big, that the generator can run. So if I need to, I can always take the generator and I can run that little space heater in there right by the pump to keep things warm. It's not the best solution, but that's like my third option if things go bad. Something occurred to me while I was sitting here making this video, so I ran outside and checked real quick. My laser thermometer, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out there and check it and see if I can learn anything, and I did. Now we know that heat rises, cool air falls. So down there by the pump at the bottom of the tank is where the receiver for this is, for the thermometer. And it says 35 degrees. This I used to measure the top of the tank, and it was 42 degrees, 41, 42 degrees, depending on where I pointed it at. It is keeping it warm in there, except hot air rose. The other thing I noticed was down at the bottom of my box, some of the dirt that I'd used to pack around it to keep it insulated had washed away in yesterday's rain. That's just something I'm going to have to continue to do until I can get it built up high enough that it doesn't do that anymore. So I think we're getting ahead of the curve. I think we're working things out. Today's project is Carolyn doesn't want her pots and pans on the floor anymore. She wants to get some more racking and shelves. So I'm going to hang a board up here so she can put her pots and pans on the board. They'll hang down. Yeah, and then we'll do another one over here. Now, Carolyn and I have a difference of opinion. Our coats, we've been hanging here. The problem is you can't really get into the attic. You can't get to the brooms and different things because the coats are in the way. So she wants to move the coats out here. And I don't know if that's what I want. I like her pallet wood. And I think you guys do too, as many comments I've gotten about it. So she wants to move the coats out here and cover up the pallet wood. So I've already given you my biased opinion. So I would actually like for you to comment below and tell me what you think. Should we keep the coats here or should we hang them out here so everybody can see them? Everybody being me and Carolyn, because nobody's ever going to come into the house. The other thing I got to do is her shelf, which we expected this to happen because there's just nothing to hang it onto. This shelf we were able to screw into the wall, so it doesn't have a lot of movement. But this shelf over here, it's only attached to the floor, so it does rock around a bit. So I'm just going to put a board in here from here to here so it doesn't move around. Although I am drilling my board that Carolyn's going to hang her pots and pans off of into the stud, these pallet wood, using the pallet wood for your walls has made it really easy to hang things up on the walls because all you got to do is just screw a screw into the wall anywhere. You don't have to try to find a stud and hang a picture. No problem, just hang wherever you want. And to think, if I had to follow code to build this tiny house, we wouldn't have been able to use it. So functional, can't use it. Well, there you have it. She's got her pans hung up on the wall. It actually looks really cool. The more we do to this place, the more it feels like a cabin in the woods. It's just, I love it. Okay, so there's the board. So now you see the coat. It's right there. or in the middle of the wall? You tell me. So it's probably been, I don't know, a half hour since I talked to you about the outside temperature here. And since I put the dirt around the base, this thing has went up well over a degree without doing anything other than just putting that dirt around there. So that helped out immensely. I'm feeling a lot better about it. Now I know where my problem is. My leak was around the bottom. I'm still going to fill the tank tonight. I'm already working on getting the well hooked up so I can start filling the tank. So I tell you, this lifestyle is just amazing. I say it all the time. I try to inspire you as much as I can to live your dream, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be off-grid. So I hope that I can inspire you to live a dream where your hardest decision is where are you going to hang your coat, and every problem has a simple solution. Thanks for watching.